Today I'm going to share with you the handbag that Coach chose as their buy it now piece for the spring 2025 runway show. And this video will be structured a little bit differently because I'm filming the intro separate from the rest of it. The reason for that is because if you saw my runway show video, which would have been on Tuesday, and I'll link it below for you in case you missed it, that's where I talked about all of the 5 styles of handbags in this runway show. I actually filmed the rest of this video along with that, planning to do it in just one video, but it was getting a little long. Plus, the buy it now bag was not available for purchase yet, and now it is. So I decided to split it up into 2 videos. Also, I had said in that video that I was going to give you my big announcement today, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to postpone that until Tuesday since this bag came available and since it's limited edition, and usually these sell out right away. So I wanted to get this video up. It's more timely than the announcement, but that's coming soon, I promise. Also, I'm filming back on the bench, and I do have both dogs with me. So they didn't appear in the last video. So here's Baron. I know some of you have been asking and wanting to see them. And Roxy, come here. Here's Roxy. So there they are, and Vincent's in the other room. Okay, let me give you a couple pieces of information that I have learned about this bag since filming the rest of this video a couple days ago. One is, like I've said, these are limited edition pieces. They released this bag in 2 sizes. The smaller one, both sizes they did 4 colors of each. In the smaller one, they only made 190 bags of each color. For the larger one, they made 135, so even less of each color. And once they're gone, they're gone. They never bring these back until the spring, and they're usually different. In my experience, there's something about the buy it now bags, which tends to be a little better than the ones that they release in the boutiques. And by the way, I should have said this up front in case you're not familiar with Coach buy it now bags. These are bags that have run the runway that you've just seen, and they pick one of those bags and make it available in very limited quantities on the website immediately following the runway show. This year they were late in releasing them. I don't know what happened. I suspect they had some kind of a glitch. But anyway, they are available now. I'm going to tell you all about this bag, go over all the details, give you my thoughts, and I'm going to tell you about some other bags they released that I don't think they've ever done before along with this runway collection. So stay tuned. And welcome, I'm Autumn Beckman, and I'm here to help you live your most luxurious life within your budget. I post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those, and so you don't miss my daily community posts where I share the best sales of the day and all the fabulous handbags that I find. Also, don't miss my website, autumnbeckman.com. I'll have that linked below, and that's where you'll find all the things that I have for sale, like handbags and accessories, but also the My Handbag Collection organizer that I designed to help you curate and organize a collection of your most beautiful things. For example, this is the front and back of the item tracker page, which is the heart of the planner. This is where you can record all the information you would ever want to know about your handbags and small goods. Just keep in mind that right at this moment, and I have a note about this on the shop page of my website, that I'm in the middle of a really big secret project, which I will be revealing very soon to you. And that project is taking all of my time and not allowing me to fulfill orders for a little bit. It'll probably be maybe a week or so before I can start getting orders out. So you can still place orders, just know that there will be a small delay in shipping. So like I said earlier, for the buy it now bags, they usually pick one bag that walked the runway, and they sell a few versions of that in limited quantities. So the bag they picked for this was the chain Tabby, which was kind of helpful because then I was able to pull photos and actually show you what the bag looks like since we couldn't see it on the runway. They released this in 2 sizes and 4 different colors. So they have the regular size one, which doesn't have a size listed in the name of it. It's just called the Buy Now Chain Tabby Shoulder Bag. It's listed at $550. It is 10.5 inches across, which translates to about 27 centimeters. And then the other size is 35 centimeters. Same bag, but 10 centimeters more. That's for $775. So I'm going to show you this bag real quick, show you some of the details of it that are kind of interesting, and show you the difference between the two to help you decide which one you might want if you're interested. And I will have this bag linked below because it is currently on the website. So it comes in chalk, which is their white with the gold or brass hardware, the brown saddle color with the gold hardware, and then it comes in a black with silver hardware and a navy with silver hardware. Now, to me personally, I found this bag kind of disappointing because, at least from the front, it looks just like the soft Tabby, which they released a few years ago. It's like, guys, can't you come up with something new? But it does have some things about it that are different from that bag, and it has some other details which are pretty cool. So the thing that's different about this bag, the soft Tabby, you would just lift the flap and it's one big compartment. I think it had a pocket inside, but it's one big compartment. On this bag, if you look at the sides of it, it's separated into two different compartments. So it has these three pieces or edges, just like the Gucci Dionysus shoulder bag. So it is different in the way that the body of the bag is structured, but it looks the same from the front and back, just not from the sides. It has that top handle, it has a crossbody strap, both in leather, but then it also has this chain, and this is the same chain that you can buy individually on the website for around $100. And I like this chain because it has little details around the edges that look like stitching. And this bag also comes with a bag charm, which is leather with some little trinkets on it. Now, overall, the bag charms on both sizes of bag and all the different colors of bag are the same. But when you go and start looking at them individually, there is something different about each of them. And that difference varies by the color of the bag. So they all have these leather strands, and you can buy similar charms individually too. They have a couple that are very much like this on the website, which again, I'll have linked below. So they all have the leather strands, they have beads and little things that are like beads with woven leather around them. They all also have dice, but the dice are different colors on each of the bags, and they're basically tonal to the bag. Like the black bag will have black dice, the blue bag has blue dice, the white has white, the brown bag has like a burgundy oxblood colored dice. And then each one has a different charm. The black bag has a little silver skull, which is so fun. The brown bag has a shell. The white bag has a heart. And the blue bag has a little tea rose flower with a tiny turn lock in the center. Oh, and they all have a little metal feather charm at the end too. Now, deciding between the two sizes, they're very different. So here are the shots that they have on the website with the models wearing the bag. And you can see how much bigger the 35 centimeter is compared to the smaller bag. And the 35 being that big is also going to be a little more saggy on the top. Now the sides and bottom are still structured because of the way that that bag is made, but there is a very big difference in the size. So that's the bag they released. Now, I told you they did something that they've never done before as far as I've seen. They also released a collection of vintage bags that they had upcrafted by painting on them. And each of these bags is one of a kind, just like all their upcrafted bags are. Now, at this point, all these bags are sold out, but I still want to show you a couple of what they released. Or maybe all of them, there aren't all that many. They had a couple of vintage ergo shoulder bags, one in black, and then this one that, of course, I loved in green. And I love the big T-Rex Rexy painted on it. So that's one that I totally would have purchased had it not been $1,000. If it had been more like $500 or $600, I probably would have bought it. There was this backpack. Oh, not all these bags were vintage. There was a Swinger, a Rogue 39, a Ray tote, oh, and another ergo in lavender, a Dakota, the re-release of the ergo shoulder bag 33 centimeter. I have this bag for sale on my website right now, except it's not painted. So if you wanted to get one of these bags at a much more reasonable price, this one sold for $800. You could go pick up mine and either wear it just as it is, which is beautiful, or paint it yourself. Or this white Swinger bag, this vintage Oliver bag, and a vintage companion bag. And then they had two that I thought were really interesting where they took small leather goods and turned them into handbags. They converted them. And I know there are people who say, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's a small good. You shouldn't convert it to a handbag. Well, Coach did it. They took a vintage chunky case, which is a little cosmetic bag, and added a chain to it to turn it into a handbag, painted it, also added bag charms, which they do on their upcrafted bags. And again, I apologize for looking down at my computer. They took this little Kiss Luck coin pouch, which goes perfectly with the collection we just saw on the runway, and they added a chain to that to make it a little handbag. It's still, you know, a little coin pouch. It's tiny, but that's a cute idea. I like how they painted that too. It's cute. other than that green Ergo, if I was to have purchased a bag from this collection, and I actually would have bought this if it hadn't already been sold out by the time I got there, which was immediately. I think some of these bags were sold out before the show. I'm not sure how that happened. But there's this vintage stewardess. I already have a vintage stewardess and I love it, which is why I knew I would love this bag with the big dinosaur and it says New York and everything. That was one of the least expensive bags. They had it up for $600, whereas the little green coin pouch was $725 and the chunky cosmetic was $850, y'all. Oh, and I also wanted to point out that some of the bags, they weren't just painted, they had little patches put on them. This strawberry looks like it's embroidered. I was trying to tell if it had sequins, but I think it's just embroidery. And it looks like possibly, can I see that? It looks like it's possibly on snake skin, but I can't tell. So that was the Coach Spring 2025 runway show. Let me know what you think. Well, thank you so much for watching. So I hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.